Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Christmas soap making series, let's say. And today we're going to be making a cinnamon star soap. A cinnamon star is a cookie that you find around Christmas time in Switzerland, also in Germany. And I have here some cookie cutters from a brand called Dr. Oetker. This is like a baking brand here in the German-speaking area. And I wanted just to have different kind of sizes here so I could choose which one would be good, because I'm going to be making these cookies here specifically for the advent calendar that you saw recently here on my channel. For fragrance, I found in a German company called MANSKE this fragrance oil that is exactly the scent of the typical cinnamon star. I don't know if you know what this is where you live, but I figured that in Germany they would have the exact scent to mimic this Christmas tree, and it smells exactly like the real thing. I'm gonna be using for the glazing this titanium dioxide mixed with water, and for the cookie itself I have this chestnut brown mica from a company called You Make It Up, and if needed I can blend it with this doubloon gold mica. This is an experiment. It's the first time I'm doing something like this. I choose this size here of the cookie because this will fit in the advent calendar. So next step is to mix the lye water solution with the oils. You will find the recipe down in the description box. They are at about the same temperature. I chose to soap very cool because I don't know how this fragrance oil will behave. As I said, it is an experiment, and I always like to do experiments on camera. So I'm blending it to emulsion. I don't want to overdo it for the same reason as I just said. Of course, I added also sodium lactate to the lye water solution to make unmolding really easy, or the cutting of the stars in this case here. I personally always use it, except I'm making like a special recipe where you don't need it, like a 100% coconut oil soap or something like this, which is very hard by nature. So I'm going to split off a part here for the glazing of the cookies, and we're gonna be coloring each part differently, of course. Okay, so for the first part of the soap here, I'm going to be using chestnut brown mica. It's a wonderful brown color, very rich, very pearly, very saturated. I love it. So I'm gonna be adding quite a big amount because I want this part here to be very dark. And again, I am blending it. You can see how lovely this brown is. And when you use it in melt and pour, it really gets very pearly and very shiny. I will show you an example here. Okay, so I'm making sure that all the mica is incorporated also from the sides of the container. And now I'm adding the fragrance oil, and it smells amazing. I'm gonna add all the fragrance oil just to the bottom because I want to keep the white part white, and I'm sure that this will discolor anyway, so I'm not putting any fragrance in the white part. Giving it a good blend just with the spatula. I'm not using a stick blender in this case. And then I have the silicone liner of my brambleberry slab molds. These are the 9-bar slab molds. I absolutely love them. So in goes the brown part. I'm going to give it a good shake to even out the soap. And then the only thing left to do now is to wait that the brown layer gets firm enough so it can support the white layer on top, and I'm not quite sure if this is the case, but let's move the project out of the way now so we can color our top part of the soap, which is gonna be white. So the titanium dioxide pre-mixed with water. I prefer the water-soluble titanium dioxide. Some like to use the oil dispersible ones. I prefer this one much better. I think it disperses more nicely into the batter, but that's just a matter of preference. So I'm giving it a blend with the stick blender, because you have to do that with titanium dioxide, otherwise it won't disperse nicely. With micas it's a bit different, but titanium dioxide you have to. And as a side remark, the reason why I'm using the cookie cutter is because mainly I didn't find the correct size for the cinnamon stars that I wanted to make. They also have these molds here for the cinnamon stars, but it was too small for my liking, and I didn't really find any type of silicone mold that would fit exactly the size that I wanted. But of course you could make also smaller cinnamon stars, very cute, why not? This is just an experiment that I wanted to make. Okay, so here we have the brown layer, and I'm just checking if it is strong enough to support the layer on top, and I think it is. So ready or not, here we come, and what will happen will happen. It's like when you first time break an egg. It's just something you have to go through, and it looks quite okay, I think. So I'm taking my spatula to help break the fall, and it looks okay. Nice, nice. And it's always good if you put your projects on a tray or on a cutting board, not only so you can move your project around if you need space, but also when you want to shake it and even it out. All right, so there we go. We are all ready. Now we just need to wait for 24 hours and see how it turns out tomorrow, if it's ready to be cut. And here we are the next day. You can clearly see that the glaze lightened up in color as usual with titanium dioxide. And now I'm trying to see if I can unmold it easily, and if not, just let it in the mold a little longer. These silicone liners here of Brambleberry are absolutely amazing. By the way, if you want to see a review that I made on different kinds of soap molds, I will leave a link up in the right hand corner here, so you can go and see if you're interested. And here it is. I'm just checking if it's tall enough, if the cookie cutter is tall enough to go through the entire soap. I think so. Okay, so let's see. I'm gonna push it down. Not so easy. It's a bit sticky. But not so bad. Here we go. At this point, I decided that it would be better to wait one day longer and see how the cutting will be. and it's probably gonna be easier. So here we are the next day. It looks like it is a bit harder, so it is easier to and less sticky, as you can see. And just in case you were wondering, the leftovers here, I use them for soap dough, so we don't have any unnecessary waste. Then I decided to wait 1 day longer even for the second slab that I made, and it definitely was worth waiting. So as an experiment result here, I would say if you have to cut out soap like this, better to wait a couple of days and just try every day and see how it goes. This is quite smooth, as you can see, and they come out pretty nicely. Alright, so that's another idea you could make for Christmas. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for some other Christmassy project coming up very soon here on my channel. In the meantime, I wish you a wonderful day. Bye bye!